Hi everyone. So we are going to read our last story for the year. No, we did not finish the book, and we actually have another book in school that we did not get to, and that was on purpose. It wasn't even because of quarantine. I just like to spend a little more time on each book, on each story. So we did that. They have enough stories that we can read one a day, and I don't think that's effective. So I like to spend a little more time with the story, read it a couple more times. If we were in school, we would be doing guided reading, but that's why we're not finishing the book. So don't worry about the rest of the stories. I will be collecting these books next Tuesday when I come around. We're going to read A Spring Surprise on page 78. This story I think is a little difficult. There's much bigger words, a little more to it. And if you are struggling, then don't worry about reading it alone each page like we normally do. You have that opportunity if you'd like to pause for each page, read it, and then we'll read it together. Or you can just read it with me, and that's it. So that's your choice. You decide, maybe look at the page for a little while, see if it's something that you can get through on your own. And if you can, great. If not, then just read it with me, okay? And this one, like I said, is a little trickier. And as we get further in the book, they do get harder and harder. And you guys have done an amazing job at reading these stories. These are harder than any stories that we've ever done in first grade because of the new curriculum. And you have taken it and you have done so well with it. So I'm really, really proud of you about that. So if you'd like to read the page on your own or try the page on your own, pause now. Okay, and now we're going to read it together. Okay, so it's called A Spring Surprise on page 78. It's by Dottie Oberhoser, illustrated by Keith Neely. And the first chapter is called The Hike. The Hike. Alex scrambled up the hill. The fresh breeze was in his face. He loved exploring the trails. The snow was gone, and the sun was warm. He was excited to be on a hike. There were many things to see in the woods. Alex stopped to pick up a twig to throw for Buddy, while the rest of the family made it up the hill. I have a plan, said Dad. Let's hunt for clues that spring is here. Let's see who can spot one. Alex liked Dad's plan. That will be fun, he said. So what does Dad suggest that they do? Look for clues for spring, right? And some clues for spring could include robins, birds' nests that are being built, right? Little blossoms of flowers and things like that. And we're past that point because it's June. We have a few more weeks and it'll technically be summer, but we remember seeing all these signs of spring a couple months ago. Does Alex like Dad's plan? Yes. How do you know? Well, he says that will be fun, right? You don't think something's going to be fun if you don't like the plan. All right. So what does he already feel on his face that tells him it's a sign of spring? A fresh what? It's in the first line. A fresh breeze, right? A fresh breeze. What other sign of spring can Alex feel? The warm sun, right? The sun starts to get warmer in the spring. Today, unfortunately, I got up and it was in the 40s, but it doesn't feel like spring to me now. But there's days like that, right? Why is Alex excited about the hike? The second line says he loves exploring the trails, so he was excited. Okay, so let's look at the other page, 79. If you'd like to read it on your own, pause. If not, let's read it together. I see some buds. We just talked about buds, right? Said Ashley. Under a pile of brown leaves, little purple buds were peeking through. "Over here," said Mom. "Here are some pretty buttercups." They spotted a bird with a twig hanging from its beak. "This is another clue of spring," said Dad. "The birds are making their nests. They will soon be laying their eggs." "Could we make a birdhouse so the birds will make a nest in the yard?" asked Alex. That's a great plan," said Dad. "Let's go home and get started." Okay, so as you know, and I don't have it in here, I have a bird that every year comes back. We think it's the same bird, we're not sure. And he builds a nest on our light fixture outside our sliding glass door on our deck. And every year she lays eggs, and I don't take pictures of them anymore. I've told you this story many times where I was taking a picture and I have to reach up to take the picture because I can't see it. And Mama Bird came flying at me and then swerved at the last second just to warn me to leave her babies and her eggs alone. So I do not take pictures. I don't know how many eggs there were in there this year. I never looked. But a few weeks after that, we did see the baby birds. When Mama came to feed them, she would sit on the side of the nest and the baby birds would open their mouths wide so the mama could feed them. And about a week or two later, the birds were gone because the mom had left them, made them leave the nest, so they learned how to fly, and they're gone. So I always take the nests because they do such an amazing job. I think that birds are just amazing. I don't think people could build the way that birds build with just their beak. And I just think it's amazing. So I always keep those, and you've seen those in my classroom. And that is definitely a sign of spring. And when they're gone, it's usually a sign that summer's coming. We've had baby foxes, baby chicks, baby birds. We've had baby spiders, lots of baby things were hatched and born in our yard this spring, which is pretty exciting, except for the spiders. That wasn't very exciting. Skylar had made me a gourd that she hollowed out and painted, and I put some bird feed in it, and we hung it up outside for a bird feeder. So I'll take pictures of that if there's birds in it, so you can see how that works. And I think that's a really neat thing. Thank you, Skylar. So what spring clues does Ashley find? She finds some purple buds, which made me very excited because purple's my favorite color, pecking through the leaves, okay? And that's always our first sign too. I think they're called crocuses. I'm not very good at that. But they come up and they're purple and they pop up first in the springtime, and that's the first sign of spring that I usually see. What spring clue does Mom find? She finds some, if you want to pause and find it and come back, she finds some buttercups, right? Those are those things that for some reason you put on your chin to see if you like butter. I never understood that, but it's funny. Have you ever seen a buttercup? Do you know what I'm talking about? They're very bright yellow and they're wet. All right, so what other spring clue do the Millers see? Well, it's right in the picture. It's a picture of a bird with a twig, and she's building her nest. So why does Alex want to build a birdhouse? So they can see the birds in their yard, right? Do you think Dad likes this idea? Yes, he actually says that's a great plan. So they're going to go home and build a bird's nest. Okay, last page for today, page 80. If you'd like to pause, go ahead. If not, let's read it together. Dad cut the boards. Alex hammered in the nails. At last, the birdhouse was done. Days passed, and Alex kept waiting for some clue that a bird was making a nest in the birdhouse. Birds went past the birdhouse, but he did not see any birds land on the perch. And he did not see any birds fly into the tiny hole. Why don't the birds like the home we made them? Asked Alex. Maybe they will live in it next spring. Don't give up hope, said Dad. But Alex felt sad that the birds did not want to make a home in his yard. So what job does Dad do to build a birdhouse? He cuts the boards, right? That's a dad job, right? or a big brother job or a mom job, but not a little kid job because that's kind of hard. You could help, right? How does Alex help Dad build the birdhouse? He hammers the nails. Yes. Do you think Dad helped Alex as he hammered the nails? Probably. He seems very young and it's kind of hard to do that, right? Does Alex see any evidence that a bird is making a nest in the birdhouse? No, he doesn't, right? And is he a little bummed out about that? Yes, he is. Do you think the bird will make a bird in his nest in his house? I hope so, but we'll find out tomorrow. So I will let you go for today, and I will see you tomorrow to read the rest of the story. Have a great day.